Yeah. Show me the money! Big red lips and long blonde hair. Say, call me a baby, let me get you a stare. Like the way you walk when you walk over there. Woo! Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report for Thursday, December 7th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your Thirsty Thursdays. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner, or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're using a mobile device. Today's podcast is brought to you by ATScalculator.com. Come and check out the ATScalculator.com today. Go to the website, go to NFL. Let's do the Monday night football game tonight. And let's go to the, let's see what the odds are on the game here tonight. So this way, when we do the calculator, we can know exactly where it's leaning towards. So New England at Pittsburgh, -4.5, 28.5. Yeah, I got a feeling this one might be going over the total. So let's do New England. Struggling. That's an early Joe right there, right in the intro. Hey, you know it's not a good day when Joe Namath comes on your struggling podcast right in the intro if you're announcing your teams. All right, then the Steelers.
Struggling.
Yeah, and then let's see what the over-under says here. We got New England and we got the New England, believe it or not. The pay, that's because all defense, right? 0.49, 34.09. So yeah, we knew it would go over the total. But that's what the ATS calculator is all about. Check it out today, ATScalculator.com. Also, the 24-hour rule. Come and get the book that I wrote in August. Come and learn about embracing patience and discipline, which is going to be a perfect theme to today's show because I'm going to be talking about the flex focus betting strategy here at the Raymond Report. In fact, we're going to dedicate the hour to this new betting strategy, and you know what, make you think right off the top of the morning. But the 24-hour rule, you can get this book today at amazon.com or .ca. Check it out today, the 24-hour rule, and you can get it just by clicking the link right here at atsstats.com. All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to the Raymond Report. My name is Ron Raymond, a 5-time sports handicapping champion based out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It's snowing here this week, and it's it's not pleasant. It's about minus what today? Minus about 3 degrees this morning in the old nation's capital. Actually, minus 11, yeah. So you can see I don't go out much, but yeah, it's overcast day. But you know what? We got some good show lined up for you guys here today, and we got some good information. I'm gonna share with you guys the flex focus betting strategy. I did a little bit of a test pattern this college football season. I'm gonna show you the research that I did on it, and and then let you in on some of the strategies that I use. And again, right, everybody has a game plan until they get punched in the face, as Mike Tyson would say. And you got to have a strategy when you are betting into the markets. And just remember, I say this all the time, not every day is going to be a Picasso. You got to be patient in sports betting, and you got to pick your spots. And at the end of the day, you want to make it to a cash out Monday. All right, got a good show lined up. But before we do, let's go and feed the ponies. I think we're going to Gulfstream this morning. Hey, I'll be there in about a month from now. Actually, I'll be there, about 3 weeks. Hey, we'll feed the ponies at Gulfstream in a few weeks. Yeah, they're off and running today at Gulfstream Park, Hallandale Beach, Hollywood, Florida. And today, race number 1 today at Gulfstream Park. It's a $25,000 maiden claiming race. It's 1 in 16 miles on the turf. 12:10 post time. We're gonna go 4.59 today at Gulfstream, and it's in season when Irad Ortiz Jr. is back at Gulfstream. It's winter time and it's time to go to Gulfstream. Number 4 horse Carzone with Edgar Zayas taking a ride here on the Carzone. The number 4 horse 9-2 morning line on the 4. Billy Price Gonzalez taking a ride on Billy Price, the 5 horse 10-1 morning line, and the 9 horse Barry the Builder with Irad Ortiz Jr. taking a ride on the 9. Barry the Builder 2-1 morning line. There's your favorite right there. And the Joker play, your value play of the day is the 11 horse Harry with Ruiz taking a ride here on the 11. Harry is 12-1 morning line on the Joker's value play of the day. Exacta today in race number 1 at Gulfstream Park, 4-5, 5-9, 9-11. And if you're going to play a trifecta, 4-5-9, 11-5-9. Always remember to box those ponies, and come and get the entire tip sheet for free today for Gulfstream Park at atsstats.com. The Raymond Track Report, races 1 to 10. Yeah, you're in season when there's 10 races at Gulfstream, right? Because normally there's like 8, but we're going to 10 races today at Gulfstream Park. And folks, get the free tip sheet courtesy of the Raymond Track Report right here at ATSstats.com. And there are your horse ponies tip sheets. It's the network. Show me the pearls, baby. All right. Yeah, we'll show you the we'll show you the money in just a few minutes, but hopefully you guys had a good night last night. My premium best bet was the Miami Heat last night. I went against my Raptors last night, and I took the Miami Heat +4. And so hopefully you guys had a good week or a good night last night in NBA. I know I've been off since Monday, and but you know what? It's always nice to go on a little run in your premium selections. In fact, I won 7 of my last 8 premium picks. And if you want to get all my selections with a membership here at ATSstats.com, you can, because once you're a member, it's only $4.99 for the week, $19.99 for the month, and $99 for the year. And if you use promo code Friday, all uppercase, you get a free, well, not free, you get a half price, 50% off. You know what? It was our Black Friday special. We just kept it going. And right now, if you enter the promo code Friday, all uppercase, you get 50% off a 1-year membership right here at ATSstats.com. All right, let's get into this, right? The flex focus betting strategy, and what it basically is. And if you followed my college football selections this college football season, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'll bring it up on the screen. I had my under the radar type picks, and what I did is I went back to last year. I looked for teams with losing records, but had great. Had great against the point spread record, right? And I said, you know what? If you think of the rationale behind that mindset is that here are teams that didn't have a really good record last year, but against the point spread they were there, meaning they were close enough to win those games, and they kept it in the point spread. So I'm going to track these teams this year, and I'm going to focus on that, right? Where you get hence the word flex focus. And flex just means that you can flex in and out some of the teams into the groupings that you're going to put these teams in, right? And I'll show you that in a second. But looking at, the first thing we got to fix is Ron, George's with an R. There you go. And so as you can see right here, those are the 15 teams that I looked at the beginning of the season. And I had Georgia Tech, Kansas, Missouri, Connecticut, Southern Miss, Rice, Army, Navy, Temple, Akron, Western Michigan, UNLV, California, Washington State, and Hawaii were some of the teams that I was looking at the beginning of the season. Now, obviously, not all these teams were going to make us money this year, but this is where the flex focus part comes in. And some of the teams that I've really done well, and some of these teams, once they started, like a team like Connecticut had a really good year last year, but Jim Moore Jr. did not have the team this year to compete like he did last season in some cases. So we flexed them out for other teams, right? So the teams that I really rode out of these 15, Georgia Tech, Kansas at some point, Missouri, I went from the gate to wire with Missouri. Rice, I did a lot of bets on Rice this year. Army, Navy, nope. Temple, Akron, Western Michigan, UNLV. I placed a lot of my bets this year on UNLV. California, Washington, and Hawaii. But the main ones where I'll highlight them here was Georgia Tech, Kansas, Missouri. Let me see here. Rice, and then UNLV, right? Those are the ones I really focused on, and I flexed these ones into the season, and I had a pretty good record. When you look at the standings this year, and I wonder why the dog is barking. Hang on a second here. What's wrong? Why is he barking? All right. Hey. My security system's going off, and I don't know why. Maybe someone's at the door. See, he gets like that. When people walk the street with their dogs, he wants to go out and play. All right. So, anyways, hey, home business, right? Looking at the teams here, you can see Arizona 10-2. These are the best teams against the point spread this year. And if you're looking, if you want to try this exercise next season, or for college football, or for NFL, or even NBA, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. You can see UNLV was right there. Where else? Some of the teams. Missouri, 8-3. Rice 8-3, and those are the like. Once you start doing this systems, you start identifying the teams that make you money, right? Hey, it's like the Janet Jackson song, right? What have you done for me lately? And those teams are the three that I really rode heavily, and members are my witness, and you can see that the members at the ATS stats in the premium pick section and also the pick section, those are teams that they saw a lot of me betting this season. And we had a really good college football season. Like I said last week, it was probably one of my best college football. Of all the sports that I'm probably the weakest at, it's college football. Okay? And this year I was really happy and proud that our college football picks did very, very well. And I credit the Flex Focus betting system because it allowed me to focus only on a few groups of teams, and I was able to flex in and flex out some of these teams, like teams like Connecticut, Southern Miss, Army, Navy, Temple. Like these teams did okay last year, but not this season, right? So you got to be patient, you got to be disciplined, and when you look at the flex betting system right here, go to the front page of atsstats.com, and you're going to see the flex focus betting strategy. Now, when you click on that, there's a little bit of a write-up, an explanation on the mindset, the strategic approach, and the principles of the system, and the core principles of the system. Just like in the Raymond Report, when we talk about the Raymond Report, I always give you guys the disclaimer, right? I always talk about the disclaimer and the fundamentals of the Raymond Report: value, percentage play, performance cycles, player availability, and we use a strict money management system. Well, it's the same type of approach here in the flex focus betting strategy, right? So the core principles are selective focuses, right? So we talked about those under the radar teams that we picked out at the beginning, but then we only flexed in and flexed out some of the teams. So concentrating on select teams known on their performance and potential, right? Any investment, obviously you're hoping there is potential. If not, why would you waste your time on it? Adaptability, adjusting the team selection based on ongoing performance and market trends. And you can change that word trends to market psychology, because at the end of the day, like my good friend Ross Benjamin says all the time on his podcast, you got to think like a bookmaker, right? Because if you have the same mindset of the betting public, the bookmaker knows that, and they're going to use that against you. And risk diversifications, providing tailored packages for different risk preferences. Now, everybody has a risk tolerance level. What is yours, right? And in the preferences, I talk about low risk flex packages, the LRFP. I talk about medium risk, the medium risk flex packages, which is 50% or higher. The low risks are obviously teams that are 60% or higher. The winners win, right? At the end of the day, winners win. And your higher risk packages, right? And again, when you think like mutual funds, right? When you go and invest money in your banker or your the portfolio manager will say, what's your risk tolerance level, right? My wife hates it when she takes me to those, because you never take a gambler to a banking meeting, hey? It's like it's like I always say, me and my wife are like we're like booster cables, right? I'm the red, she's the ground, and she grounds me pretty good. But yeah, you got to have a risk tolerance level when you're investing, right? So what is your risk tolerance level? And if you want to learn more about the flex focus betting strategy, go to the website atsstats.com, and each and every day what I do is I update the numbers, right? I'll take a look at the NBA. Let's go to now. You got to be a member to see this, obviously. So these are the members that are what they're going to see. Now I just updated this. This is why I'm a little bit late this morning. I was doing a little bit of an update on the focus groups. Okay. So let's start with the low flex packages, right? The low flex teams, and the thing with these teams right here. You're going to notice that their win percentage and their against the spread percentage, some of them are a little bit off, right? A little bit different. Like, and this is where I talked about it last week. There's a lot of these teams, like Philadelphia has the guy, right? You have a high marquee player like Joel Embiid, and you're obviously the price is going to be included into the markets on a team like Philadelphia. But at the end of the day, those teams like the Sixers, they win and cover. If you look at the Philadelphia Sixers, so I took Orlando, Philadelphia, the New York Knicks, Oklahoma City, and the Brooklyn Nets. These are my low risk team in the grouping of the, I guess you can say the 60% club, or the low risk package grouping, right? And you can see these teams, they all have a high win percentage, but the one thing with these teams on a money line, they're always going to be a little bit high, right? So this is why this package, and I say it here in the intro of the Flex Focus betting strategy, is that if you go right here and you go to this line right here, and I talk about the keys lies in the methodical approach, emphasizing discipline and patience. This system is not about betting on every game every day. Rather, it's about picking your spots, making strategic, informed decisions about when and where to place those bets, right? So as you can see, this system is it's not for everybody, because if you're a sports bettor who wants to bet every day, this system is not for you. You're just gonna get you're gonna get discouraged. And if you have an aggressive personality or aggressive betting behavior, this system will not work for you, because you're gonna make unrational decisions that it's gonna lead to more losing bets, right? So you got to be disciplined. And you know what? If you stick to this pattern and this system and accept the fact that you only might bet once a week, then, at the end of the day, I say it all the time on the show, what's your window of opportunity to make money? Is it 1 day, 2 days? Is it 3 months, 6 months, a year? If you have patience and you can wait, then this will benefit you, just like it did benefit me this year in college football, right? When I took all these teams like UNLV, Rice, Georgia Tech, I was kind of like, I flexed in and flexed out on some weeks, because it just some of the lines, and you're gonna have to really do your research on some of the lines, right? Because you're looking for value. And if a team like let me give a good example, like Georgia Tech, the last game where they played Georgia, I knew that line was way too off, right? So I flexed them back in that week, and that's the kind of discipline, and you got to have some sense of the markets, and you got to know sports, right? I know the sports handicapping world, they talk about it's a numbers game. It is a numbers game, but you got to also have a clue on the game itself, the player personnel, just like I talk about in the Raymond Report, the 5 fundamentals. You gotta understand the situation at hand, right? And picking your spots. We talk about that in picking your spots. So Orlando, Philadelphia, the New York Knicks, Oklahoma City Thunder, Brooklyn Nets. Those are my low risk package. Now, these teams are, they're not inked in stone for now. Like, they're for today, December 7th. Those are my low risk groups, right? But I can be flexing in and out of these groups over a period of time. Now, my medium groups. Now, I find the medium package groups. These are the teams from a value perspective and a risk perspective is where you're going to make your money. The one thing that I've learned in life and in sports handicapping or investing. It's the old Seinfeld episode, right? What goes up must come down, even Steven, right? And if you can find the middle balance in anything, I think that's where you will make money in life, right? Minnesota Timberwolves, New Orleans Pelicans, Sacramento Kings, Indiana Pacers, Miami Heat. When you think of these teams right here from a market point of view, like look at these teams, right? Orlando, Philadelphia, New York, Oklahoma City, Brooklyn. Really Philadelphia, and look who has the guy on these teams, right? Philadelphia has the guy. That's about it. And when you look at these over here, Minnesota, New Orleans, Sacramento, Indiana Pacers, Miami Heat, the win percentage. Now look at the win percentage of Minnesota, 80% win percentage, 62 against the point spread. New Orleans, 54 and 59. Sacramento, 57-52. Indiana, 57-57. Miami Heat, 57 and 52. That was lower this week, last week, but they got a little bit of a run. And when you look at the grouping percentages and you look at all the Group A or the low risk, low risk, or you can call it the A group, the B group, and the C group. The A group or the low risk percentage averages, they win 62% of the games. They cover 64. The medium group, the B group. I think this number here really inflates this number, so you got to be very careful. And this is where I talk about flexing in and flexing out. You got to have some ability to obviously read the room, read the numbers, and one of these things ain't like the others, and have the common sense to understand that, right? And factor it into your decision making, and find the value, right? Find the value. Even though Minnesota won last night, they didn't cover the spread. They've covered 62.5%. This is where you can make a decision on flexing in or out the T-Wolves when you're making that selection. And last night, if you look at my premium picks, of all the games that went on last night, the only one that made my premium selection was the Miami Heat. Hey, Miami Heat was my best bet last night. That's the only one from all the packages that I kept as I knew going in that this would be a really good from a value perspective. I knew Miami was the play. Performance cycles, they've been pretty good. And so the medium low group, Miami Heat did a pretty good job right there. Shy is the guy in the Canadian get hip. He's a beast, says who's Mizzou. Morning, let's eat a goddamn snack. Hey, that's the bullpen ready to go. All right, then the high flex packages. These are the teams that when you look at these teams like Houston Rockets, Golden State Warriors, Cleveland, Dallas, and the LA Lakers, their win percentage, when you look at the Lakers, Maverick, LeBron, Luka, you look at Cleveland, Golden State, Curry, Houston, some of these teams don't have the high marquee players, and these teams are underperforming this season, and the record says it, right? Hey, you are what your record says you are. And even though Dallas, they're a better team than we think they should be, they should be really a medium, but I'm gonna have to flex them into a medium until their record says that they're good enough to get into the medium risk package grouping. But 60% and then 50% against the point spread. Now these C groups or the high risk teams, and the one thing with these high risk, especially Golden State, Dallas, and the LA Lakers, from a market psychology point of view, that they're always going to be an inflated price on their value on the line, right? That's the way it is. That is just the way it is. And this is why I say all the time, when you're betting in cycles, it's very cyclical when you're betting into the markets. And if you don't do it every day and your standings better, and you're just, you're looking at the standings and you say, okay, I'm going to bet this team because they're on a 10-game win streak or whatever, then that's not how you do. That's you don't have your finger on the pulse in the market. You got to pick your spots. And from a macro environment of the teams and the league, you got to know when to pull the trigger on one of these teams, right? And this is why I say all the time, you got to go look at the SBI, the Sports Betting Index. Go look at what's come into the markets, right? And this is one of the biggest tools that I use here is I want to see what's happening on the 7-day average. If a team, like teams, this is like the micro environment, the macro environment, and then the teams are the micro, right? So when I see that from a macro environment, 64.6% of the favorites are winning, but only covering 51.3%, then I'll be very selective on those favorites that I'm going to really bet on, right? So those are some of the things that I want to focus on here today, the flex focus betting strategy. And you got to be disciplined. And if you got the discipline and the time to really, the one thing when you introduce a betting system like this, now this is something that I've been toying in my mind for a couple of years, but this year I said, okay, I'm going to track the college football to see how it goes, and then if it does well, then I'll reintroduce it to the public and bring it onto the show and bring it to the website, right? So this way, each and every day when you go to the website, go to the front page right here, atsstats.com, and if you want to see the teams that I'm flexing, right here. So for NFL, let's do the NFL so you can see the teams that I got in the low risk factors. Good morning, teacher. Solo Rider. Hey, good morning, Solo. So here's my low. Let's go to the high risk. All right. Here's my high risk teams. And the thing with the high risk teams, and think of it from a cycles point of view, right? When I think of the New Orleans Saints and I look at their cycle, and let me bring up the let me bring up the Saints right here. So let me go to my super database. All right, let's go to the super database. Hey, where's my red fox there? Superfly.
Hey, Fred, that's one of them Superman suits, ain't it? Superfly, Bubba, Superfly.
Superfly, Bubba. All right, current season, and let's take a look at their pattern on the, All right, so 5-7, 2-9-1. Not a really good against the point spread record, right? You thought that it was a little bit better than that. All right, so take a look at the beginning of the year. So they started the season 16-15. Yeah, remember the first 3 games were all like 3 points or less. So 16-15, the score. They beat the Titans 20-17 against the Panthers. 18-17 loss to the Saints. 26-9 loss to the Buccaneers. And then they beat the Patriots. Well, everybody's beating the Patriots. Houston 20-13. 31-24 against the Jags. They lost. The Saints 38, Indianapolis Colts 27. So you can see the Saints go through a bit of a cycle, right? From taking a look from their straight up winner factor, right? 5-7. And the thing I try to avoid is betting on teams with losing record. Now, all these teams in the high risk category, if you look at Jacksonville, 66 win percentage and 66 against the point spread. LA Chargers, 41-41. Tampa Bay, 41 but 58 when it comes to the high risk. New Orleans, 41 and 16%, and then 41 for the Raiders, but a 50 win percentage. Now, obviously, this is a high risk department, and when you look at a high risk, there's your high risk, right? And this is where the beauty about this system is, now that I look at this, I'm going to say, you know what? You got to flex out the Saints. The Saints just not getting the job done. So you flex those out and you don't touch the Saints. And then you flex in somebody else that's not in the package. And that's where you got to reshuffle the package each and every, I say, depending on the sports. Depending on the sports, maybe in football, it's every 3 weeks. In high volume games or high volume leagues like Major League Baseball, NHL, NBA, I use a 28-day cycle, but you can adjust your own cycles and flexing in and flexing out some of these teams, right? So at the end of the day, we want to try to get, obviously you want to get this number up higher, right? So you want to, without really touching some of the other packages, and it's like a mutual fund, right? And some of these groups you really don't want to mess with if they're doing the job for the medium risk, right? When I look at the medium risk teams, and I'm talking about Baltimore, Kansas City, Houston, Indianapolis, and Cleveland. And if you look at the record, they all have a combined record of 63.3% and a 58.3 win percentage against the point spread, which is good, which is really good compared to like 46. But that's why 46 is in the high risk, right? And what's your tolerance level? If you got a high tolerance level, then you can bet these teams, because the contrarian, this is probably the contrarian grouping, right? People who like to go against the grain, this is probably their favorite package of betting on, right? But if you look at the medium risk flex packages, the grouping, Baltimore 66 against the point spread, 75%. Kansas City 58% against the point spread, 66 win percentage. Houston a 58% win percentage and a 50 against the point spread. Indianapolis, they're getting better. Like, this is why we talk about cycles, right? Of all the teams, the Indianapolis Colts, from a cycles point of view, they're probably the best medium in here, obviously with their record along with Baltimore. And then you got Cleveland. Cleveland, very cyclical. Obviously with their quarterback situation hurts their medium risk. And this is where into your handicapping, and when you're analyzing the medium risk grouping, you say, you know what? There's some key indicators that have to, they're non-negotiables, right? So there's some non-negotiables in some of these indicators, like, for Cleveland, with Deshaun Watson out, then okay, that's a major issue. So maybe I flex out Cleveland and I bring in somebody else into the medium risk package, right? And at the end of the day, when you look at the medium risk packages, they do have a 58.3 win percentage, and that's pretty good, right? And then you look at the low risk. Now, the thing with the low risk, you can forget the money line on most cases, because you're going to be, betting the farm on them, right? Miami, Detroit, San Francisco, Dallas, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Look at their average win percentage, 76%, 63 for the medium, 46. So you can see there's a big difference. Hey, you're going from the penthouse to the basement right here. Big difference. And when you look at the point spread record, and the one thing with football, normally teams that win cover the spread. Like if you look at the Eagles, 83 win percentage, 75 percentage against the point spread. Dallas Cowboys, 75 win percentage, 66 against the point spread. Like, there's not one team in the low risk category that has a losing record against the point spread. It's just the one question you got to ask yourself: do I have the stomach of laying maybe double-digit points? That's the only, no system is perfect. And if there is a flaw to this system with the low-risk tolerance level grouping, is that am I ready to lay double points, like in double digits on some of these favorites, right? And this is where discipline and patience plays a big role. And really, now that we're at week 14, you kind of miss the boat on some of these the value plays, right? Because now, and we talked about this with Gil the other day on the show. When you get to a certain point of the season, like the All-Star break, Thanksgiving, or trade deadline, the NHL, the value of the favorites just go on a crazy run. And I think we've already passed the that point here with the low risk package teams, right? But the Eagles 75%, Cowboys 66%, 49ers 75 win percentage, and talk about cycles, right? San Francisco went through that 3-game losing streak, but then they're back on track, right? So Miami Dolphins 75-66. Of all the teams, and when you're thinking from a market psychology point of view, the only team you probably wouldn't trust here is Detroit. Right? Because even though they're having a great season, maybe the fans of Detroit are the only one, but from an investment point of view, Detroit, probably from a market psychology, is the only team that when you're making a bet each week, unless they're like a low favorite or a low underdog, then you think you got value on Detroit, right? But if you see Detroit -7, Detroit -9, and you start saying, okay, do I have the stomach this week to flex them into a bet, right? San Francisco, when they're playing like that, the line will dictate everything. The line always dictates, right? The line will always tell you. And when you look at the line this week on some of these teams, let's take a look at some of the games for this week with those low-risk teams, right? So look at, Panthers, Saints, no, Baltimore, medium risk. Cleveland, those are medium. Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, Seattle, San Francisco. That's what I'm talking about. -10.5, right? Do I have the stomach, even though San Francisco has won 75% of their games, 53.3% on the win percentage? I just don't know if I got the stomach to lay 10.5 against a really good Seattle team, which I haven't even talked about into the, maybe Seattle's the team I flex into the high risk category, right? And you know what? Maybe Seattle should be in my high risk department right here. Let me see here. Raiders, Vikings, Bills, Chiefs. Chiefs -1.5, right? And they are I got them in the medium, right? The medium. Say what you want about Kansas City. You always got the Patrick Mahomes, and this is why. Every team has the guy. Remember I talked about that in the NBA? There's always the guy. Kansas City, Mahomes is the guy. And because of Mahomes, you're always going to have a bit of an inflated line, right? Let me see here. Chargers, Broncos, Eagles, and Cowboys. Now, the one thing about this system, when you got two teams going against each other, you throw it out. You just don't. You don't go against your own system, right? I don't know if I would give up 6 with Trubisky tonight. Pat's defense is pretty good, says Scott Christensen. And then Miami, Detroit. What's the line on those two teams this week? Philadelphia, Dallas -3.5. Green Bay, Giants, Miami 11.5. See there again, the 11.5, right? So that's the only thing about betting these low risk package teams is, do you have the stomach to really lay double digits, right? So check it out, atsstats.com, and I'll do the NHL before we go. So, and again, these flex groups, these focus groups, some of them will be flexed in and out. So if you're a member of ATS and you're looking, discipline. And again, when I said in the top of the show, when you're betting these teams, you're not betting them every day. You got to pick your spots, just like I did last night with the Miami. If you really want to track my premium picks, this is where I'll be using this chart to really for my investment teams, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the low risk. So Vancouver, 16-10 in the year, 61 win percentage. ATS. See, this is the one thing about moneyline sports is that you also have the ability and the option of betting against with the puck line, right? But a team like Vancouver are always going to be. Well, you know what? Let me see. What's the Vancouver's record on the? Let me go to the puck line. Let me take a look as an underdog. So let me go to my dashboard. I want to see how many times, and maybe that's another thing I got to look at into the system, how many times those low-risk teams are underdogs, right? You're not going to get Vancouver. Oh, you might, though, because Vancouver was not a team that everybody believed in at the beginning. And then, as the season goes on, you start you start buying into that team, right? So if you look at Vancouver, 16-10 on the year, so they played 26 games. And if you look at how many times out of 26 games, they've been an underdog 13 times. So 9-4 on the puck line. So that's pretty good. That is very good. So if you can get Vancouver as an underdog on the puck line, the only thing is with the puck line, for now, those low risk teams, you're probably laying 2 something, right? -2 or 300 some point. Like 250 last night was a lot of the teams I was looking at on the puck line, just a little bit too expensive. Boston Bruins, Boston 70% win percentage, 58 on the puck line. Colorado 64, 52. LA Kings. Now there's a team that if you've been betting the Kings, so the LA Kings are like my Missouri of college football this year. Under the radar, a lot of people didn't believe in them. They're a good team, and all they do is just win. But from a market psychology point of view, people are not betting a lot of the Kings. Maybe probably people in the West Coast, right? The thing is, when you live in 3 time zones here in North America, obviously the teams who live in the East Coast are going to be watching more of the Eastern time zone teams, right? The Leafs, Rangers, Panthers, Tampa Bay. Then you got your Central, Chicago, Minnesota, and then you got your West Coast teams. LA Kings are. You know what? There's probably something into that when you handicap from a time zone point of view, right? From a market psychology point of view, I bet you that there is a factor there when you compare the lines. And the Dallas Stars, even though they lost last night to Florida, Dallas Stars has been a good team making money. Not on the puck line though. In fact, let me see Dallas's record on the as an underdog this year. I want to see how many times Dallas has been an underdog. And that's when you can also know when the team has value, right? When they've been a dog a lot this year. All right, so let me take a look at the Dallas Stars. Wow, 3 times. Interesting, very interesting, and that explains their 41% puck line record. 41%. They've only been an underdog 3 times this year. I don't know. I know Dallas is good. I don't, 14-10 is not like, 17-7 good or 16-9 good. But the Kings, 15-7. Look at the Kings, rolling with the big boys up there. Anyway, those are my A-type teams when it comes to hockey. Now, these are the teams from a puck line point of view. I think you're going to do really well with these teams on the puck line. Winnipeg, Florida Panthers, Arizona, Detroit, Philadelphia. Yeah, those teams, they've done pretty well. In fact, let me go to my standings. Let me go to my ATS standings, and let's take a look at the puck line record on some of those teams. Philadelphia, Columbus, Detroit, Vancouver, Anaheim, Winnipeg, Boston, Arizona, Tampa Bay, Nashville. So I think 3 of the teams are in there. Philadelphia, did I say Philadelphia? Or were they in there? Yeah, number 1. Okay, Philly's number 1. Florida is at close to number 10, I believe. It was in Florida, or let me see here. Florida. Oh, where's Florida? I thought I said Florida was in there. Maybe not. Let me see here. Well, what's the record? The record will tell you. Hey, no, they're not in there. 58, Arizona. All right, Arizona. So where is Arizona? Yeah, number 8. And then you got Detroit and Philly. Yeah, so you know what? If you're looking from puck line type teams, consider these teams. Winnipeg, Florida, Arizona, Detroit, and Philadelphia. And 62% win percentage on the puck line. And look at this one, 54 and obviously 47. So at the end of the day, what did I say? Always look at the medium teams, the medium risk teams, because it's to me, I believe it's where the value lies, right? I think there's, when you look at these teams, you're going to be paying in the minus 200s all the time on the money line. And when you look at these teams, you might get more value when it comes to the puck line. And then you got the high risk teams, the Montreal, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, New York Islanders. Islanders, man, be careful betting the Islanders, 10-14. But again, these are teams with a 40% or higher win percentage. I probably look at these teams more on the puck line, but 47%. But if you're gonna flex in and out of teams, I think the high risk group obviously is where you're gonna flex out most of these groups. But how many times are you gonna bet these C type teams? Hey, let's be honest. How many times are you going to be, I've bet Montreal quite a few times this year on the puck line. I've done pretty well. Montreal's a very competitive team. They're pretty competitive. Pittsburgh, getting better. Buffalo, cyclical. Islanders, I don't trust the Islanders. And Calgary, I wouldn't trust the Flames either, right? So there's a couple of teams you can probably flex out of your high-risk packages. But again, why would you bet on teams on a consistent basis that have a combined win percentage of 41.6% when you can, look at teams at 64 and 56, right? Hey, winning matters. Winners win, and if you don't follow the record, And but the one thing in sports betting is you got to try and the value. You got to combine value with winning percentage, right? Because you can't let one cloud judgment over the other. Because at the end of the day, you got to win, but you don't want to overpay for a price on what you're gonna buy into, right? All right, so those are the flex packages here that I keep track of. Now these are going to change within the periods, so keep an eye out on the when you go to the website, go to the flex groups. Hey, these are my flex packages groups, and hopefully they win. Hey, did pretty well with college football this year, and you're going to find if you use this system, you're probably going to bet only a handful of teams on a consistent basis. Like say in the NBA, like I find myself betting a lot of Orlando games, Oklahoma City and Brooklyn. I find myself, and let me see other teams here. These are the three that I probably find myself betting a lot on. And you're going to flex in and flex out. In baseball season, I talked about this also in baseball season. Remember I kept telling you guys, I said, keep an eye on these under the radar teams that, they're overvalued, like Texas Rangers, the Seattle Mariners, Tampa Bay, even though, people are going to say, well, Ron, Tampa Bay is always up there. But yeah, they win. They just win. But there's always a point in the season where the market psychology of some certain teams dwindles down, right? Like the confidence meter, the confidence level of certain teams. And when you look at stock market or cryptocurrency, the greed and fear factor, there's some of that in sports betting, right? There's some of that into the sports betting world where you look at the greed and the fear on some of these teams, and you just can't let that overwhelm you making those selections, right? So anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this this system, this little tutorial, and again, love the one thing I love about doing this, and I've been doing this now going into my 28th season. I love research and development. I love playing with new toys. Hey, I like playing with new toys, new systems, and things that especially if it wins, then obviously it's you're onto something. But not every day is a Picasso. Not every day is going to be a winning day. Even though the bookmakers want you betting each and every day, which you can if you have two types of mindset when it comes to your investment portfolios, right? And again, these teams could be looked at as these flex focus groups are, what I'd love to see people, use this, and we exchange portfolios. Like who's in your low risk group portfolio, who's in your high risk group portfolio type thing. I think that would be a great thing to really talk about and share with the public, right? Man, imagine if we did a conference and it was a flex focus conference and we talked about portfolios, and in the NFL or the NBA, who's in your medium portfolio conference group. And hey, there's Scott. Hey, and where's my
let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
There you go. Hey, I want to thank Scott for the cup of coffee. I appreciate that, Scott. And I really appreciate that for the donation, Scott. And thank you. And I would love to get you guys' thoughts on that and share your portfolio. You know what? We can do it on the chat groups. I know we have a Discord. Maybe that's something I gotta share with the Discord group. If you go to our website on YouTube, there should be a Discord link, and the bullpen who are the members there probably will give you guys the link. But we should exchange our portfolio. Right, our portfolio groupings, I say in the NBA, and just focus on those type of groups. I would love for this to be a thing. I would love for this to be like a system that everybody. Where do I get these ideas? Basically, when you watch, the stock markets, when you watch, the cryptocurrency market, when you watch, the real estate markets. Real estate's a little bit different, but to me, this is like your just like your mutual fund, right? Your portfolio investments. You wish every one of them were doing better than the other, but I would love to know what you guys think of that, and if you're going to try it, I would love to see who you have in your low, medium, and high risk groupings in your portfolio, and I think that would be a lot of fun to track. And you know what? I think the key to this system is the flex. And then that's where the flex wording comes into this, right? Who do you flex in and flex out? You can't be, I say to our quarterbacks all the time when I'm teaching the quarterbacks, and I'm saying, look, when you do your pre-snap read and you find your safety and you look at your cushions and your staircases, pick a side, marry it, don't date it, right? I always tell that to our quarterbacks. Once you get to the pre-snap read, post-snap, pick a side, marry it, don't date it, and live with the decision, right? And the thing is with these portfolios, not these, you're not married to these ones. You're probably dating them. Like, I'm married probably to Orlando, Brooklyn, and Oklahoma City at this point. But eventually there is a separation that comes, or divorce, right? And they get kicked out. Hey, but yeah, so. It'd be fun to talk about that. Maybe maybe in the Discord today, I'll go in and share the link with you guys into the chat section. If you're watching on the replay, I'll put a link in our comment section, and then come and join us on the Discord and come and share your portfolio with us. All right. Let's get to the games at hand today. Now, we do have a couple of games in the NBA, and we got some teams that are into the portfolios, right? So let's take a look at Milwaukee in Indiana, and we'll do that. So let's go here, and let's go to our NBA. So Indiana and Milwaukee. Now, this is a little bit different. This has like a playoff mentality to it, right? So it's from a regular season point of view, and now like a playoff point of view. This is, do you handicap this different? Obviously, the players, they want to win. Who doesn't want to win, right? Everybody always wants to win. Hey, right, Mike? Hey?
I want winners.
Yeah, but when you look at tonight, you got a team like the Lakers taking on New Orleans. So you got a medium risk and a high risk going at it today in the portfolio. But first of all, we got Milwaukee taking on Indiana. And you know what? I don't even think. And the one thing about this system is that, Milwaukee. Yeah, the thing with Milwaukee, always overvalued. So that's why I didn't even put them in the low risk, because I'm not ready to. And you look at Milwaukee's record against the point spread. I don't think it's that really good. In fact, let me go to my standings. Hey, and you'll notice some of these portfolios, like in hockey, left out the defending Stanley Cup champions, because the thing with these teams that win championships, they always come back, and if they have a high marquee player, they're always going to be overvalued. And I think that's the beauty of this system, is that you don't have to always take the high valued big teams, right? So you look at the NBA, and we look at Milwaukee. Point spread wise, yeah, not a good point spread record, 15-6. And the thing is, with this 15-6, they're always going to be minus 200 or something, right? And 9-12 against the point spread. So at the end of the day, to me, they don't fit my portfolio. They just don't fit the what I'm trying to accomplish. So we got the Bucks going on tonight. Minus 5.5 is the line. 255 is the total. Wow, crazy total. And we do have the Bucks winning tonight, 127-124. And when you look at the Bucks here, 8-2 straight up, 7-3 against the number, and 67% chance of winning compared to 42.8. And talk about Damian Lillard comes over from Portland, and we're not even at Christmas, and he's already playing an impactful playoff type scenario. And when people analyze this and compare it to the Champions League in soccer, some people like it, some people don't, and some people are still on the fence about this in-season tournament play. I kind of like it because, it gives more meaning and more excitement to the games, and the players, who doesn't want to win $500,000? That's their incentive, right? So I think the players are all on board. Just, ask the players who are out if they're happy about it, right? And so looking at, wow, look at that. They haven't played a B-type team this year at home, but this game's in Vegas, so it's neutral. It's almost like a neutral. It is a neutral court game, but there's no home court advantage. And when you look at the record, Indiana in their last 10 games against Milwaukee, 1-9 straight up, 2-8 against the point spread, 6-4. So you can see Indiana does not have a good history against Milwaukee. Only 1-9 straight up, and maybe that's why the line's a little bit high, right? Line's a little bit high. What does my ATS calculator have on this game? Let me bring up the calculator. All right, so let me go to NBA, and let's see what the calculator has as a line right here. Milwaukee, and survey says I got the home team. See? The home team, 0.2. And I got 247 as a total. If you're going to bet this one here tonight, I think the total is where you want to go. Beer pizza money. I would not, I would not touch this game. I don't think I'll touch any of these two games in the NBA tonight. Just different situation, different factors, just different everything, right? And so I think, look at the over, 8-2. But the calculator has 247. I don't know. What do you guys think tonight? What do you guys like in this game here tonight? I thought, let me see here. Anybody like this game? Yeah. Man, we're not getting treated to. Yeah, well, you know what? We're not getting the best Thursday night football game ever, right? With the Patriots and Steelers. 10 years ago, hey, Big Ben and Brady, that would have been a good one, but not today. All right, let's go to the next game. I think this is going to be the best game of the night. But the Pacers might put up a fight. Just don't like that line, 5.5. Lakers, 1.5 point favorite. 229.5 is the total. Let me see what the ATS calculator has in store tonight. Let's do a reset. Let's go to New Orleans. And let's do Lala. And the Lakers, survey says, home team, 0.8. 227.09. So we do have it going over the total. I got a 113.6 to 113.05 favoring the Lakers. And both these teams coming in hot. 7-3 for the Lakers last 10. 6-4 for the Pelicans. 52.3% chance of winning here on the Lakers compared to 41.6. If you know the Rain Report, anything 40% or higher is courtesy look. And let me see. New Orleans, last 10 on the road, but this is not a road game. This is a neutral site, so 5-5 straight up. And favorites of Pick'em, the -3 on 1 day's rest, home favorites, is at 22.5. Look at that, 1-10 straight up. Yeah, I think the Lakers is the play here tonight. Lakers money line, this is where I would lean. All right, let's go to the NHL. And you know what? The NHL system that I told you guys about, still doing well. In fact, I got two systems I want to share with you guys in the NHL. And the first one is pretty good. So favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. All right. Favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. Current season. Right here is 46-16. Hello. Hey, that's pretty good in my books. In fact, let me go to my calculator right here. So that's what, 62? So 46 divided by 62 equals 74%. Pretty good. Hey, I think that's not bad. What do you guys think? Hey, favorites coming off a 1-goal loss, 74%. Yep. Hello. All right, and underdogs coming off a 1-goal loss on the puck line. 54-32. Well, there was something, I think it was away underdogs. I think away underdogs are even better. Yeah, look at that. Away underdogs coming off a 1-goal loss, 36-14. So, that's what, 72% when you do the math real quickly. Yeah, so pretty good. The gift that just keeps on giving, the Rain Report. Hey?
Show me the money!
Yeah, there you go. I just showed you the money.
Straight cash, homie.
It is straight cash. Hey, Randy Moss, I love that.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, straight cash. All right, let me see here. Let's go to NHL. Let's see if that system's in play tonight. Let's look for teams on a... hey, where's my computer pick? NHL computer pick. A lot of games in the NHL tonight. Big ones in Ottawa. Hey, the Battle of Ontario right here. The Maple Leafs taking on the Sens. Now, the favorites coming off a 1-goal loss does favor the Leafs here tonight. So we got the systems in play for the, but I think the home favorites is a little bit better. Let me go back to the system. Home favorites. Let's see, road favorites. Away favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. 20-7. Wow, that's pretty good. All right, so the Leafs fit the system. Underdogs coming off a 1-goal loss. Nope. All right, so Boston, they won, they lost. Nope. All right, so road favorites coming off, they both won. All right, so home favorites coming off a loss. So the Islanders could be a play here tonight. The system, home favorites coming off a 1-goal loss. So the so let me keep track of this. So Toronto, New York Islanders. These are the favorites, right? And we'll look on the puck line if we have any puck line. So Dallas, all right. Dallas is in play tonight. Wow, a lot of plays in favorites. So Dallas is in play tonight. You got, all right, so nothing there. All right, so here we go. Anaheim in the puck line. Anaheim against Chicago, puck line, but that line's going to be pretty high, though. I got a feeling. Let me see what the puck line is. Let's take a look at that puck line. Let's go to the game between Anaheim, Chicago. Anaheim, Anaheim's favorite. Wow. Okay, so no, that's not a play. But they're, even though they're, let me see. Oh no, they're favorite. That's right. Pick them. I was reading that line. I was reading the line wrong. -107. So yeah, it's a pick 'em line. So that, all right, no play there. No, Anaheim's out. All right, let's go to the next one. We got all right, both these teams won 5-2, 6-1. Okay, so Vancouver, and you know what? They're in my low risk package, so Vancouver fits the mold, and let me see. Then that's it. All right, so here's the system plays tonight: Toronto, New York Islanders, Dallas, and the Vancouver Canucks. Those are your system plays of the night, and of all those teams, I think they're all favorites. So let me see here. Toronto is a favorite of -123. New York Islanders, they are a favorite of let me see here. New York Islanders -182. I don't know if I got the stomach for that. I don't know if I got the stomach to bet the Islanders. Dallas, but you know what? What's that line telling you? -182. That's kind of high against Columbus. That's kind of high. And then Dallas, they lost last night, and they're playing Tampa Bay tonight. Or let me see, Dallas. No, wait, where's Dallas? Oh, on the road in Washington. All right, so Dallas at -138, and then you got Vancouver on the West Coast -121 against Minnesota. That's a good game, and they'll be in a nasty mood coming off that loss. So, all right, pretty good, and yeah, so those are your NHL selections for tonight. And let me know what you guys think. Are you guys betting NHL tonight? And we'll see. All right, it's time for...
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
Yeah, not silly at all, because we are talking about the 80% Club Stats, and the 80% Club Stats brought to you by ATSstats.com. When New Orleans, the Pelicans, are a road team, obviously they're, yeah, you know what? This is a tough one, because now they're, the in-season tournament play, so you got to, put this with a grain of salt. New Orleans is a road team the month of December after a conference game, coming off a road win, 2-8 to the under. Let's do the NHL, because those are just like the playoff games. Well, it's like an exhibition game, right? All right, NHL, we'll do NHL. Any good... Philadelphia, home or away, month of December, last 15, 13-2 on the puck line. Yeah, you know what? And they fixed, they're right there in my medium grouping too, right? Medium risk. Winnipeg, as a road underdog, total 6.5, coming off an Eastern Conference opponent, coming off a 1-goal win, 14-3 on the puck line. So Winnipeg puck line looks like a, what are they, what's the line on the puck line tonight? Plus, -202. Yeah, you know what? Maybe worth a look here. Winnipeg puck line. Toronto puck line as a road team versus Eastern, playing on Thursday, coming off a home loss as an underdog, 8-2 in the puck line. And Philadelphia, yeah, we already said that one. Vancouver. The Carolina road team, the month of December, playing on a Thursday, 17-4. And Calgary as an underdog, last 5 years, 3-4 last 7 games, 4-19-1 in that cycle. So some interesting numbers here tonight. All right, any good numbers here tonight for the, let's go to a free report. Let's go to NFL. Tonight, the National Football League, the real burn. This is like Iowa. This is like Iowa taking on Iowa State here when it comes to the total. 28.5. Pittsburgh, 4.5 is the favorite. 28.5 is the total. I got 19-12 as a computer pick forecast, 32.8. And you know what? The thing is, with a low total like this, you just need a couple of defensive interceptions or pick six to really help your cause to the over. But New England, ooh boy. Hey. What the hell's going on? Yeah, I was going to put struggling with that. That one there is even better. Pittsburgh, 6-4 against the point spread at home against C-type teams. And let's take a look at some of the stats and trends going into tonight. And Anytime the Steelers are a home favorite before a non-division game, coming off a NFC opponent, and they're coming off an ATS loss, 13-3 straight up, 12-5 against the number. And look at this on the over. I like this system. Now these here, obviously when you give the teams, that's a team trend, but this is an NFL system. So it involves when any teams in this situation. So when any NFL road team after a non-division game, last 4 years, coming off a 5-game losing streak, and obviously back-to-back straight-up losses, 7-22, but 6-24 to the under. So we got a nice system on the under here tonight, and the only question is who's going to score for New England. Here, you know, probably a good prop. Who scores for who scores first for the Patriots? Is it the kicker, the defense, or the offense? Okay, the kicker would be like minus 240. The offense plus 110, and the defense probably like minus 120 or something, right? Who's Mizzou? Montreal Columbus plus 1.5, and the Canes on the money line for who's Mizzou. All right.
Playoffs? Yeah. Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, we're talking in-season tournament playoffs tonight, Jim, and it should be a good one in Vegas.
Holy cow!
All right, hey, what a show today. We went on a little, Thursdays, I told you guys, Thursdays is almost like a fact-finding mission Thursday, right? I know it's a thirsty Thursday. I'm starting to get thirsty here. Been talking for an hour. I get starting to get hoarse a bit. Like the Steelers, money line and under Army, says Daryl Turner and his other brother Daryl. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Army-Navy. I'm an ex-Navy guy, so obviously I got to go Navy, right? But come and learn about the Flex Focus. Hey, try to say that 3 times. Flex Focus betting system right here at the website, atsstats.com. I'll go into Discord and talk about the my flex groups and let you guys know what you guys think. And I'd love to see your flex groups to see who you guys are flexing in and out of your low, medium, and high risk portfolio. All right, enjoy your rest of the Thirsty Thursdays. I'll be back tomorrow with Gil the Thrill Melendez. Remember Gil the Thrill Fennerty in baseball, in football? That's why Gil goes, why do you call me that? Hey, he used to be a football player for the Toronto Argonauts. Was a great running back, Gil the Thrill Fennerty. And every time I think of Gil, I think of the Thrill Fennerty. So and now you know the rest of the story by Paul Harvey. All right, folks, have yourself a great rest of your Thirsty Thursdays. I'll be back on a football-friendly Friday. Harry Carey?
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey from Wrigley Field on a beautiful day for baseball.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Joe own the Chiefs.
Owns.
Owns.
I don't know.
Struggling.
Can we have fun? You're damn right. I demand that we have fun.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Straight cash, homie.
Holy cow!
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
What the hell's going on out here? Woo! If you smile, what the rock is cooking.
That's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.
Let's go to eat a goddamn snack.
Hey, baby! We're gonna be here all day! We're gonna be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party! I like this kind of party, baby!